I've been going to all these networking meetings and joining all these networking groups because everybody says that that's a great way to market your business, and I'm getting nothing out of it. It stinks. Friends, if that is you, if that's your feeling and your feedback, how you feel about networking, then you are in the right place. And we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to the Shoestring CMO. I am business coach Wendy Lawson, and I help micro business owners market their businesses on a shoestring budget. So if you've got big hopes and dreams and a very little checkbook, you are in the right place. Today, I want to talk about networking like a pro. See, networking can be a fantastic marketing tool for the micro business owner who's on a shoestring budget, because you can far exceed your return on investment if you are paying a small dollar for a networking group, or even if it's free. So I want to talk about the way that you can really maximize your return on that investment. And I want you to understand, first of all, even if you are using free resources as part of networking, there is still a cost to you because it's an opportunity cost. The time that you spend in the Facebook group or the LinkedIn group or the free meetup group, wherever it is, you're losing the opportunity to spend that time somewhere else. So even though it may not cost you $1, even though it may be free 50 free, it's really not. No such thing as a free lunch, right? You're paying for it with your time. So really want to give you 4 tips to help you network like a pro, because here's the thing about micro business owners. We are businesses of one. Maybe you have a few employees, but really your business is you. When you think about the big box stores, when you think about where we are as a society right now, we're very much, focused on shop local. We like doing business with the mom and pops. And guess what? Use a mom and pop, right? Your business is a small business located in a community. And when you are successful in your business, you're able to support your community better. So that's a really big advantage that a micro business owner has over someone who works for a ginormous corporation. So 2 different really ways that you can look at networking. So first is the free groups. You can absolutely join community groups or special interest groups, any kind of neighborhood group on Facebook, where you are likely to touch base with your ideal clients. You're likely to touch base with potential collaborators. There's people that you'll meet that could be a good connection for you, and that costs you $0 typically. Then the second way to look at networking is investing to be in a networking group. And I will tell you that I do pay to be a member of a couple different networking groups, because I know that if I'm paying and other people are paying to be there, that they're serious about networking. They're serious about meeting other people. That isn't to say that you can't participate in free groups and sort of those free resources and still have good results, but it might be harder because it's hit or miss. People may show up and then disappear because it's not a priority. Where we put our money, we're investing our time as well. We're saying, this is a priority for me. So when I joined my networking group, and as soon as I gave them my money, I was like, all right, how am I going to make this money back? Let's get to it. So let me give you some tips on how to network like a pro. Number 1, and this I hope goes without saying, but number 1 is you really need to have a goal. What is your goal for not only being in that networking group, and I mean whether that's a group, a real life group of people that you meet either in person or online, or if it's simply joining a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group. So not only what is your goal of joining that group, of aligning yourself with that organization, but not only that, every time you go to a meeting, every time you have any sort of interaction, what is your goal for that? When I go to monthly meetings in my networking group, before the meeting happens, I get the attendee list, everyone that's coming, RSVP'd to attend, and I go through and I identify before the meeting even happens, who are the people that I want to get to know. I go look at their profile. I go look at what I can find out about them to see if there's 50 people coming to this meeting, which right now is virtually. But if there's 50 people coming to the meeting, who are the 5 that I really want to get to know? Who are the 5 that I want to connect with afterwards? And then also, what is my goal financially? What is my marketing goal? What am I trying to do? What am I focused on showcasing? What is the purpose for me being there? What's the outcome that I'm working towards? So number 1, anytime you're doing any networking, and I know this sounds so simple, but you'd be surprised how many people join a networking group, but they don't really know what they're anticipating getting out of it. They're just going to sort of roll with it and see what happens. Don't roll with it. Have a goal. Number 2, you want to make sure that you have a killer elevator pitch. I did another video on how to create your elevator pitch, but you got to make sure that you know when you go into that meeting, when you do your introduction, whether it's verbal, if you're given time to introduce yourself, or if it's written. Sometimes you have to put that in the chat if it's a Zoom meeting and there's a lot of people. You want to make sure that you're very clear on who you are and what you do, and how you do it so that you can convey that accurately to everyone else that's at the meeting. Okay, so if you haven't written your elevator pitch yet, go check out that video. It's here. It's here. It's over here. It's somewhere. It's somewhere on this channel. Go watch that video next if you don't have an elevator pitch. Number 3, and I can't stress this one enough, you want to make sure that you are memorable. Now, memorable doesn't have to mean that you roll up there with pink hair and glitter and sequins and, you're like making a big entrance. You don't have to be memorable that way. You can share a story that's very personable. You can tell an anecdote that makes people laugh. You can show people how you're just like them. But you want to make sure that you're memorable, particularly if it's a bigger networking group, because everyone is trying to remember everybody else. And if you can tell a story, or if you can do something that's a little bit memorable, maybe you have a really, big earrings, or you have something that's like kind of a signature to you, but it's a way that you can point out to people like, oh, I'm the girl with this. Oh, I'm the girl with the cat eye, right? It's going to help you when you leave the networking group for people to remember you. So after that interaction, you don't just fade into oblivion, but they know who you are. And number 4, and this is the most important one, and I think this is the area that most people struggle with, particularly when they're brand new to networking. So this is me looking at your heart right now and telling you, don't worry about being dumb, being silly, putting your foot in your mouth. Here's the truth. It is hard to introduce yourself to complete strangers. It is uncomfortable to go into a room where you don't know anybody and be like, I hope they like me. I hope I fit in here. I hope that they don't think I'm weird. I hope that they want to do business with me. That's a human reaction. But here's the truth. You're probably going to stumble over some words. You might say something that you wish you hadn't. You might feel like you were really dumb. You might put your foot in your mouth. It's okay, because you're human. And the only way that you're going to get better is to keep doing it. Remember, practice makes proficient. Practice doesn't make perfect, because practice is an illusion. But the more you do it, the easier it will become. So, your 4 tips to network like a pro. Number 1, have a goal. Have a goal. Every time you're meeting with people, every time you're networking, have a goal. Number 2, have a killer elevator pitch. It should roll right off your tongue. It should feel natural, not robotic, but it should feel really natural to you, and that helps you. That's your verbal calling card. Number 3, be memorable. Be memorable. Make sure that when people walk away from that interaction, they're like, oh yeah, that girl, I want to get to know her. And then number 4, don't worry about being silly or coming across dumb or putting your foot in your mouth, because, it's going to happen. You're human. You'll rebound. No one has ever died from saying the wrong thing in a networking group. Okay? I promise you that. You'll be okay. So go out and network like a rock star, whether that means meeting people IRL in real life or joining different Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, but get out there and go meet some new people. Hey, have you subscribed to this channel yet? Because I feel like you're digging my vibe. Like maybe you want more of what I'm throwing down. The easiest way to do that is to subscribe. That way, every time I post something, you'll know. Go ahead, click the button right now. I dare you. All right, let's do this. Action! The more natural it will become and the more value you'll... Can I talk? And the best way to do that is to click that little subscribe. And the easiest way to